Good morning everyone, it's Tuesday the 19th of May 2020 and this is the spelling and writing lesson. Ed Studio, if we have a look at the spelling words for this week, and what we're going to do this morning is sound out the phonemes. And here they are. So if you can head up your work this morning, Tuesday the 19th of May 2020, and our first spelling word is audition. So if you box these into the phonemes, so or is AU, d, I, sh is TI, o, n. So that's 6 phonemes. Next one's lawyer, l, oi, which is AU, loy, oy, so it'd be AWU, it's a trigraph, and that is a digraph, 3 phonemes. Author, or, so AU is a digraph, TH is a digraph, and OR is a digraph. So these are great spelling words this week to go through and say the phonemes out loud and list into boxes. Waltz, w, or, waltz. So do we actually say the T? I don't think we do. So the T and the Z are digraphs, so that's 4 phonemes. Trauma, T, R, or, that's AU, that's 5 phonemes. Awesome, or, AWE, S, O, and the ME is a digraph. Although, all, ATH, AL, all, TH, OUGH, so that is a quadgraph. Awful, or, AW, or, audience, or, AU, D, E, IE, I, E, N, S, CE is your digraph. So go through and box those very carefully, think about them. That will help you learn to spell them. The writing for this week is to do with the Jurassic World, and we went through and we read that Jurassic story yesterday, and the activity for this week, for today, is if we go down, so we answered those questions yesterday, is some 6 sentences. Now some people went ahead and rushed these, and the sentences that they wrote weren't really that elaborate or had that much more vocabulary in them. Remember, these are 6 sentences and you're rewriting these to make these better. So the dinosaur ran towards the boy. So we try and put a complex coordinate in the middle there, therefore, whereas, since, although. The dinosaur ran towards the boy, although the boy was hiding, hunkered down under the car. So put in heaps of adjectives and try and stretch that sentence out with lots of information. And then here we may as well go on with the sentence challenge for today. Can you make a list of noises a T-Rex might make whilst pursuing its prey? So the thumping of its feet, the crashing of things around it, the growling, the grinding of the teeth, the roaring. It'd be pretty scary actually. And can you use at least 3 of the words that you've written in a sentence above? They are onomatopoeia, they sound like their meaning. So if you wrote up there roaring, crashing, then you write 3 sentences and put that into your sentence. Okay, so that's it for the spelling and writing today. What we're going to do is jump straight into reading. And the reading task for this week was the advertisement about the Milton mentor. And so if you headed up Tuesday today, and it's the hats of thinking, remembering, understanding, applying, analysing, evaluating and creating. And the first one is describe the key features of the Milton mentor. So when you read through this ad, what are the key features that stand out? And it would probably be some of the things that it does. Understanding, describe the main purpose of the Milton Mentor in your own words. What's it actually there to do when you go through and you read this text? It talks a lot about helping students, doesn't it? Applying, describe one feature you could add to Milton Mentor to make it even better. So let's keep in mind this is just a laptop. So what is something that you could add to this to make it better? Analyzing, choose one advertising technique used in this text and explain its effect, so that we know lots of them from the first term. So even in this bit here, we've got a question mark. Is it a rhetorical question? We've got get a Milton Mentor today, a call to action. There's so many things, excuse me, on that ad that you could use to discuss. Evaluating, review the effectiveness of this advertisement in terms of its persuasive. So looking through this when you're reading it, did you think it was very persuasive? Did you think the layout of it and the type of writing and the points that they've used to try and get you to buy it, do you think that was very persuasive? And then creating, design and make an appealing box for Milton Mentor to be packaged in. So when you do buy this and you go and pick it up, what type of box can you design that's going to make it appealing to pick it up in? Now when we jump over to the news report reading, we're going to do all the English lessons in one this morning. This is the last one of it today. I'm going to put some different lessons up for you this week to do. But we'll just get these news reporting ones on Edge Studio over with so that we've got through that content there. So when we go into our focus writing, down to week 5, the last week this week, and it's lesson 9 and we're talking about point of view. And we got down to excuse me, to the top of page 4 yesterday. I think we finished page 3. Just have to wait for that computer to catch up. Oh, it's very slow. Okay, so yesterday we finished list 4 analytical images that could be used to support the news report, and we got that information from up here. This was all to do with images in advertising. This time now we're on to question 5, and we're completing the table below to create a list of 3 key search terms that could be used in an online search engine to locate a range of different analytical images that could support the news report, the truth about sharks. An example has been included for you. So if you were wanting to look up all these news articles about sharks, what are some of the searches that you would put in? So someone's put in shark population decline. So from those articles that you read, one was Behind the News, and the first article which discussed sharks in the local tourism area, what 3 search terms could you put in to find that information? Would one be attacks in that area? You could put that term in. I don't want to say too much because I'm trying to get you to think about what you're going to do there. How does the chosen image on sheet 3 add purpose to this news report? So the big shark gliding through the water that you looked at in the first sheet 3, how does that image add to the news report? Does it show you how large they are, how menacing they are, how close they are to that area? And now you're going to create a multimodal news report. You have reviewed the functions of images on news reports. Let's look at how images can influence the meaning of the news report and which point of view it supports. You will decide which analytical image is the best to include in a news report. So here, our first image is a table where it shows a decline in population from 2003 to 10. So for these particular species of shark, this is the percentage of decline, and they're pretty big numbers actually. Is that the best one to show in your news report, to show that the shark population is actually declining and not as big a threat? The next one below is a graph that shows exactly the same information, but it shows it as a vertical bar graph in percentages down the bottom. So if you were including one of these images, which one would you pick to include? And just have a little statement why you would choose that one. Would you choose this one because people understand percentages so well, or would you choose this one because it really shows how shark populations are declining, and people can really clearly see the species that are affected the most? Either analytical images relating to the decline in the shark population, the table or the graph could support a point of view that trades in shark fins will destroy shark populations and may not be sustainable. The evidence that supports this can be seen in the statistics supplied for the leopard shark, the grey nurse shark and the hammerhead shark. One image could be seen as more persuasive than the other because it may be more visually appealing. Okay, so last page, and then we've done this on Ed Studio, we're all up to date. Choose one of the analytical images, the table or the graph that we looked at from above, and write a paragraph explaining how the meaning of the news report on sheet 3 could be affected by including the analytical image. So depending on if you use this image, how would this table affect someone reading that news report on the declining numbers of sharks? Would they really have a good understanding of what they're looking at there, and would that back up what is written in that news report about the hunting of shark for fins, or would this one have more of an impact? Would people really see the amount of sharks and their numbers going down because of that? And question 9, explain what would happen if the analytical images dominated the news report on sheet 3. How might that change audiences' perception of the articles? So if you purely based your news article around these tables and graphs, how would that affect the news report? Would it add to it, or would it take it away? Well, that's it for news reporting. Tomorrow we'll do another activity with that. That'll take us a bit closer to what we need to know for our assessment. And we'll talk about maths next.